Okay, so it's been a while since I last did one of these videos, and eventually I managed to get around to doing this one, which is the three books of, well, three random books from the Bloody Fear Street saga, which I should have done a long, long time ago, but due to certain circumstances slash situations, personal, I wasn't able to get around to it until now, so oh, by the way, I'm not going to go in depth in these because chances are somebody else has already covered this material. But I can give some brief thoughts on each of these books. So let's start with this one, One Evil Summer. It's fine. You're not missing much. It's got some moments of tension thrown in there, but for the most part, it's more or less really ridiculous and stupid as to how the girl Chrissy is evil and the variety of powers that she seems to possess. I'm not going to go into detail beyond that since I don't want to ruin the book for those of you who have yet to read it. But it's not exactly the most thrilling book within the Fear Street series, so you're not going to miss much if you end up skipping this one. Right then, let us move on to this. There we go. Halloween Party, which, interestingly enough, actually holds up pretty well. I mean, I read this back in, what would it be, 97, 98? Possibly. Yeah, possibly 98. And in terms of the story, yeah, it still holds extremely well. Considering for the time that it was actually written, and if Netflix is interested in making the next Fear Street movie, or at least a possible future Fear Street movie, Halloween Party is by far the one that I would recommend that they, because I mean, it doesn't take much to update this book. So this one is definitely for those of you who enjoy your Halloween and your teenage shenanigans. And when I say that, I don't mean any. There's no type of sexual stuff going on in this one. Okay, this book is actually pretty safe for teenagers, preteens, and whoever else could be interested. Right then, let us move to Fear Street Sagas number 1, A New Fear. Now, I haven't actually read the original Fear Street Saga itself, the one involving the Fear family, or the entire Fear storyline. So I can't actually judge this book compared to the previous entries in the series. What I can do, however, is judge the book on its own merits. And honestly, it has a promising looking cover, but ultimately, this one you don't need to spend any time with, okay? You're just really wasting your time with this one. The story is absolutely bloody ridiculous. It's amazing, isn't it? R.L. Stein's name is right there. It's part of the Fear Street saga, and you'd think the guy could have come up with a better story than the one that's featured in this book. Again, I'm not going to go into the details of it because chances are somebody else has already covered it. Beyond that, I don't want to ruin it for you on the off chance you want to give it a shot. But from a personal storytelling perspective, I would say that this one had the most potential and is also the most disappointing book out of the three here that I've read. But if I had to give a possible, the one that I recommend the most, however, of course, is Halloween Party. But for those of you who might be interested in just seeing what the back blurb is for this one, there we go. Oh, and by the way, if you like cats, you might not want to read this book because let's just say that Mr. Jinx, well, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, so now let us move on to. Oh wow, there's actually a hell of a lot more text on this one. There you go. Oh wait a minute, you guys can actually freeze this whenever you want. Why am I spending so much time just sticking to the books, huh? Now, speaking of these books, there's something very, very interesting that crossed my path, and it's actually somewhere in where are we? Come on, cheerleaders. Yes, this is interesting. Back in the day, this didn't mean anything to me. L.J. Smith, the Forbidden Game trilogy. But then several years later, I would actually end up picking up an entire collection, which omnibus collection, which collects all 3 volumes of the Food and Game trilogy and Dark Visions. It's kind of shocking, is interesting, isn't it? I mean, at the time when I read this originally back in the 90s, L.J. Smith, the Forbidden Game trilogy, Dark Visions didn't mean anything. It was just something on the back of the book. And now, years later, I end up encountering the actual books themselves in their omnibus format. And for the most part, I'd gotta say that, yeah, it's actually pretty decent. I mean, I don't read a lot of female authors. I'm pretty much more or less sticking with all the male authors on this planet. But in terms of books written by women, it's definitely, these two definitely actually do stand out. I mean, the Forbidden Game trilogy ultimately is kind of, how should you say, it has a good premise. A very, very good premise, but ultimately it's not exactly the type of book that is completely satisfactory in how it turns out. Now, Dark Visions by far has the most potential, and surprisingly enough, with the entire resurrection of teen, what do we call it, teen fiction exploding all over the place, I'm actually amazed that Dark Visions did not get a television adaptation, or even a movie adaptation for that matter, because Dark Visions definitely is a slightly superior thing to the Forbidden Game, even though Forbidden Game sounds way better than Dark Visions. So that was just a little side note of interest for those who are interested in those types of things. Oh, and yes, here we go. That RS right there is rupees. I bought these books in Pakistan. But hey, they've actually been in pretty good condition considering that they were locked away in a box for a very, 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 very long time. So yeah, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Definite recommend. Right, I shall leave it there, and I will be doing another video later on this week, but it won't be focused on books, it'll actually be focused on something else entirely. Right then, till next time.